Local 4 News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
We continue to follow breaking news from Chesterfield Township, where crews are rushing to rescue 2 construction workers trapped in a trench.
The rescue is underway right now on Edgewater Street in the area of 21 Mile and Jefferson. Priya Mann is there live with more. Priya?
Karen, Devin, just take a look behind me. There is a heavy police presence here. Chesterfield Township Police are on the scene, as well as the Macomb County Technical Rescue Team, and that includes Harrison Township Fire Department, the Macomb Township Fire Department, and others. As you mentioned, 2 construction workers are trapped right now 7 to 10 feet below grade. You're looking at chopper video as rescue teams are trying to pull these 2 men out of this trench where they are stuck 7 to 10 feet below grade. Now, police are telling us that they were working on a home by the seawall, shoring up foundation when that wall collapsed, trapping them from the waist down. Now, here is the important news. The men are conscious, they are alert, and they are talking to rescuers. And at this time, police and paramedics are trying to get these 2 men out of the trench. We just spoke with the Chesterfield Township Police Chief. Take a listen to what he had to say.
They're shoring up the unstable ground around them, and they're working on extricating them from their trap condition.
Are they trapped like in mud?
It's loose soil. I mean, it could be mud.
How are you attempting to pull them out?
The technical rescue, the firemen, gentlemen, they've got all the tools and all the equipment.
So that was the police chief who was speaking to us just a moment ago as this rescue mission is underway. Right now, police are not letting anyone into this residential complex. So we have a lot of families who've actually parked near our live truck, and they're just waiting for this rescue to be completed. Now, again, the important news here, police are saying that these 2 men who are trapped 7 to 10 feet below the surface level, they are alert, they are conscious, and they are talking. And right now, this rescue mission underway. We are here live in Chesterfield Township. We'll continue to follow this story as it develops. Kimberly, Devin, back to you.
All right, Priya, obviously a lot of urgency. Those can be very dire situations. Let's move now to our other top story tonight. America stops to witness an incredible sight. The first total solar eclipse in decades leaves everyone in awe. One of those moments that will generate a lot of memories for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it'll be a where were you moment, definitely, that'll be talked about for years. And we have it covered from all angles tonight. Dr. Frank McGeorge is at Cranbrook, where they put on a huge event there.
We'll talk with him in a second. Let's start things off here, though, with Ben Bailey, who had one of the best views in the whole country, Hopkinsville, Kentucky, in the southwest part of the state. And that was one of the few areas that really got true totality, Ben.
It was also one of the prime areas weather-wise, so we could actually see what was going on. I can't wipe the smile off my face since this has happened this afternoon. It was an amazing 2 minutes and 40 seconds here in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, but it was also an emotional experience for some.
What a surreal experience. Seeing colors and saturation change was like watching nature being photoshopped before your eyes.
What I think really struck me, and I had read about it and I was waiting for it until somebody said, oh, look at the sunset. I'm like, oh, that's right, it's a 360-degree sunset. And so then I stopped and I'm experienced looking around, and it truly was a sunset all around us.
Both young,
it looks like a moon covered in the sun,
and the young at heart appreciated one of nature's most elusive shows. And for some, the emotion hit them harder than they ever expected.
Pretty emotional?
It is.
Why?
Yeah, I don't want to look up to you. Stay fit.
It's pretty amazing, huh?
It's pretty amazing. It was just emotional. I got a little teary-eyed. I dropped a couple of tears. It's just miraculous. It's just amazing, the darkness and how quick it happened, and you can it blacked out the whole sun. It was just amazing in the darkness and with the feel of the cool air. It was quite emotional.
But I'll tell you, even the pros with advanced science degrees kind of got hit in the feels a little bit. Coming up on Local 4 News at 6, we'll talk to some of the folks from NASA who are here at Orchard Dale Farm to see how they reacted to today's amazing sight. Right now, let's get out to Cranbrook and our Dr. Frank McGeorge, who has got some of the best instruments to be viewing today's fantastic sight. Frank?
Well, Ben, you know, obviously you had one of the best seats in the house, but we had a pretty good view of everything here. You know, here at the Cranbrook Institute of Science, the crowds were huge and the excitement was out of this world. But the excitement of this event was bigger than just today, as they frankly hope to spur a new generation of scientists.
Oh my gosh, I see it, I see it.
Oh, wow.
cool.
Wow. Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, really? Yeah.
Let me see.
So crazy.
At the Cranbrook Institute of Science, the word of the day was
Cool. Cool.
It's really cool. It's like nothing I've ever seen before.
Michael Narlock is the chief astronomer here.
It's very cool because it's an eclipse.
This is what the Institute of Science is all about. It doesn't get any bigger than a solar eclipse.
Joanne Schouten of Beverly Hills is here with her son and grandchildren.
Curiosity is just more important than anything else.
And you can see in some of the kids' eyes, we're turning them on to science. They're going to use this as a catalyst to become scientists perhaps in the future, and we need that.
Unable to hide my inner nerd, the science geek in me couldn't resist shooting some of my own video with the proper filters on my camera.
It's getting really close to the peak right now.
14-year-old Jake Stolman already knows he wants to be an astronomer, and now he's happy everyone is excited about space as he is.
I think I am just a big, I told you, look how cool this stuff is.
This is really a bringing together of the entire community to take a look at something that's happening above us right now.
Yeah, and you know, the eclipse today was really one for the generations, bringing so many people together. So tonight at 6, I'm going to show you why so many families said this was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Reporting live from the Cranbrook Institute of Science, I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Ben, back to you.
Yeah, Frank, even out here in Hopkinsville, we saw the same thing. Kids, grandparents, parents, all sharing the same experience. So it was truly a phenomenal day. Thanks, Frank. Let's get you caught up on the weather because it held off today. What a fantastic afternoon for the eclipse here in Metro Detroit. The other thing we're watching is the heat. It was toasty, no doubt about it. Heat index readings still close to 90 degrees in some spots, 89 in Ann Arbor, 85 is what it says on the thermometer, and 84 at Metro. Still have a chance of seeing a thunderstorm tonight. Better shots tomorrow. We'll look at that coming up in your 7-day forecast. Kim and Devin, I can only imagine it's sort of like at the end of an Olympiad. The countdown is on to 2024 when the eclipse moves to northern Ohio, right in our backyard.
A little bit, yeah, you won't have to travel as far. Your story last night at 11 o'clock, you kind of showed us a lot of the zaniness that had sprung up around this. It was hilarious, but I think when the moment actually happened today, it felt like that all sort of died away, and we were just left with this rather pure moment, weren't we?
Yeah, emotional.
Yeah, it took the carnival atmosphere and it sort of settled everybody's inner soul into really thinking and reflecting on what was going on, and it was a truly awe-inspiring moment.
Yeah, I think we were all jealous of Ben today, weren't we?
Yeah, but really were. I wanted it to be a little darker here, but it was still nice to experience.
Yep. All right, more from Ben coming up in just a few minutes as we'll get back to Hopkinsville. We had a record number of people checking out our many live streams of the eclipse. You can go back and watch them. If you missed it, you'll find all of our coverage on the homepage of clickondetroit.com. All right, a developing story right now. The prosecutor in Genesee County announced there will be no criminal charges filed against local attorney Mike Morse after a woman alleged that he had improperly touched her at a restaurant.
Local 4's Karen Drew is live in the newsroom with what we've just learned. Karen?
Well, Kim and Devin, a woman made those allegations against Morse in a lawsuit filed by Jeffrey Feiger earlier this year. The woman claimed Morse groped her in a Farmington Hills restaurant. Well, the Genesee County prosecutor said in a statement this afternoon, our office has done a thorough evaluation of the law and the facts presented to us in the police investigation and have determined the case is better suited for the civil arena. As such, we will not be issuing criminal charges. We admire the courage of the victim in this case to come forward in such difficult circumstances. Now, this lawsuit was just one of several sexual harassment suits Feiger has filed against Morse, and those suits remain in the court system. Morse has categorically denied all claims against him, saying this was a personal vendetta against him. Of course, we'll stay on top of the story and keep you updated. We're live in the newsroom. I'm Karen Drew. Back to you.
Okay, Karen, it appears a series of poor decisions after the Dream Cruise on this stretch of I-75 in Troy caused a fiery and deadly crash.
Yeah, started with two cars slowing down to about 10 miles an hour on the highway, but it was a completely separate bad decision that cost one person their life. Rod Maloney live in Troy tonight with more. Rod.
Yeah, Devin, a lot of questions to sort out in this, and the real question is, was there in fact an attempt to have a drag race on I-75? This 1984 Mazda RX-8 with sporty wheels and aftermarket front lighting sits broken and burned, a shell of its former glitzy self, in the Troy impound lot after getting rear-ended by this red Ford F-150 and burning. The accident happened overnight Saturday night, Sunday morning on southbound I-75's center lane. Troy police say the Mazda with two people inside and another vehicle slowed down to a crawl. Traffic behind them didn't, however, and the red F-150, driven by an unidentified Warren man, drove right up the back of the Mazda at full speed. The collision so forceful, the back half of the car is all but gone. The Mazda wound up pushed into the breakdown lane, hitting the guardrail and burst into flames. The Mazda's passenger is identified as 27-year-old Cassandra Hunter of Innisfil, Ontario, which is just outside of Toronto. She died at the scene. Her driver, a 29-year-old male, is also from Innisfil. He's listed in serious condition at an area hospital. Troy police arrested the driver of the pickup truck, did the field sobriety tests, but opted to also do a blood sample because the crash included a death. It takes a week or two for those blood tests to reveal whether alcohol was involved, so for the time being, the driver ended up being sent home pending charges. Troy police are confirming the couple in the Mazda did attend the Dream Cruise. Whether they were headed back to Canada or still looking to enjoy the car enthusiasts' party remains the big question. And so at this point, Troy police say that they want to talk to whomever might have seen this activity on the highway. As I said, there are a lot of questions. They're not sure whether it was a drag race or not, or whether there were people doing things on I-75 at a slow speed that they shouldn't have been at that time. They're still trying to figure that out. If you know anything, Troy police want to hear from you. Reporting live from Troy Police Headquarters, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All right, Rod. So it's a very busy Monday. We're just getting started here at 5 o'clock.
That we are. Much more ahead in this next hour of news, including a group of young vandals cause an extreme amount of destruction to a Westland home. And the Coast Guard makes multiple life-saving rescues over the weekend. Blaine?
I thought we'd hear from Blaine. Blaine Alexander is coming up later, but first, workers find a body inside a Detroit auto shop, and police say it definitely was not an accident. We'll have that next.
And we continue to follow breaking news from Chesterfield Township. That's where rescue efforts are underway after two men become trapped. They were working on a construction project there. These are live pictures from Sky 4 of the rescue efforts there. This is happening on Edgewater Street near 21 Mile and Jefferson. Both men are alive and responsive, so that is certainly good news. Stick with Local 4 and click on Detroit.com for updates on this breaking news. We'll be right back.
At 6.
Many Metro Detroit communities pride themselves in being safe, walkable cities, low crime rates, places that people want to move to and live in. Over the weekend, however, one of those communities had a robbery that is turning the community on its ear, has a lot of people perked up trying to figure out what exactly happened. We'll have that story for you on Local 4 News at 6.
All right, Rod. A man attempting to break into an auto shop falls to his death. This happened Saturday night on Davison between Mount Elliott and Van Dyke. That's on Detroit's east side. The suspect, who is now deceased, was climbing that fence to break into the auto body shop. When he fell, workers discovered the body when they arrived to work in the morning.
New strategy for Afghanistan. Tonight, President Trump will address the nation, setting out his vision for the future of the nation's longest war. Blaine Alexander has a preview of the primetime address.
Well, Devin, President Trump will give that primetime address tonight from Fort Myer. That's in nearby Arlington, Virginia. And by laying out this new strategy, the president will now officially be owning the war that has spanned 16 years.
What is next for America's longest war? Tonight, President Trump set to announce a path forward for the war in Afghanistan. On the campaign trail, then candidate Trump called the war a waste of money.
We could have rebuilt our country twice. That have produced only more terrorism, more death, more suffering.
Now, President Trump expected to announce a plan to send more troops into Afghanistan, as many as 4,000. The decision coming after a weekend huddle with top advisors and what his team calls a rigorous review.
Once he announces what the strategy is, we can get more precise
on Afghanistan troop levels, what we're going to do with that.
Right now, there are more than 8,400 U.S. troops in Afghanistan. Since the war began, more than 2,300 American military personnel have been killed. Yet, the country continues to be a safe haven for terrorists, the Taliban stronghold continuing to grow.
I think what you're going to see tonight is as good as it will get, and it ought to keep us in roughly stable flight so we don't see the entire graphic turn red as the Taliban continue their gains.
President Trump considering the best way forward in a war that has now spanned 3 presidencies.
And tonight, President Trump is expected to lay out broad goals rather than specific troop numbers. Those will likely come at a later date. At the White House, Blaine Alexander, Local 4.
All right, Blaine, and we will carry the president's speech on Afghanistan live here on Local 4. We'll also stream it on our website at clickondetroit.com. It will get underway this evening at 9 p.m.
All right, let's get back out to Ben, who really had the best seat in the house, so to speak, for this eclipse.
It was funny because a lot of these folks who made the trip, you just had to hope that the weather worked out and trust the weather guy to know where the weather's going to work out. It did in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, Ben.
We lucked out, Devin and Kim, and I tell you, even in Detroit, we were really pessimistic about how things were going to look at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and things turned out fantastic for most of southeast Michigan. I'll tell you, I'd say 6 of the next 7 days we would have taken for an eclipse, but we made it through this one. Let's take a look at temperatures as they stand right now, which is pretty much 80s everywhere. 84 at Metro, 83 at Pontiac, coolest numbers out there at Mount Clemens at 81, and as we showed you at the top, the broadcast heat indexes are close to 90 in a couple spots right now. Other thing we're watching is a little bit of rain. We had some thunderstorms earlier across parts of Washtenaw County. Those have faded to just a little sprinkle there closer to Salem Township, and otherwise we're on the dry side of things up towards Owasso. Another little batch of showers. Could see some more tonight. They'll be spotty, but we've got much better chances as we get into the late overnight, closer to tomorrow morning, and then stretching through the day on Tuesday. In fact, anything that we see pop up once that little trough pushes through late morning, early afternoon, does have the potential to become strong, at least in a small portion of the area. And otherwise, once the cold front barrels through here on Tuesday afternoon, that will end our rain chances. It's also going to drop humidity and take temperatures down below average for most of the next 7 days. But that small area that we're monitoring is anywhere really from the Grosse Points down south of Adrian to the state line. That sliver under a marginal risk for severe weather on Tuesday. Let's check out your 4-zone forecast. We'll start with lows tonight. We are still going to keep that humidity high, and that's going to keep these numbers elevated, low 70s in our metro zone, but there's really not going to be a whole lot of variation between our zones. South zone numbers are going to hang out right around 70 degrees. Not much different there once you get north of Michigan Avenue into our west zone. Generally upper 60s, low 70s is what we're looking at there. And in our north zone, usually the coolest, I guess you could technically say that, but still 69 or 70 is what we're expecting by the time we wake up tomorrow morning. So here's your forecast tonight. Low 70s, at least in the city, branching out maybe as cool as the upper 60s. 82 is what we're expecting tomorrow with those thunderstorm chances. Really at any point during the day, but we'll say from noon on, a little bit better shots. Forecast into the weekend and beyond, all 70s until we get to Monday of next week, and it's dry as well. That's going to be our last chance of rain tomorrow afternoon. And as that humidity drops, morning lows get cooler, so everything becomes more comfortable as we are headlong into football season. Devin and Kim, back to you.
Doesn't feel like it where you are. I understand it is rather balmy. Yes, toasty.
You could say that. 92, our weather meter that's been sitting next to us. Heat index 105.
Wow.
Nice and warm. Yeah. All right, back to Ben coming up in just a few minutes.
Let's check in with Jamie right now.
This weekend, the Eagles of Eastern Michigan University took a field trip to visit the Lions, but the most exciting thing happened in the stands.
And then out of nowhere, the cameras just came towards me, and then it came toward the team. I thought we was just doing a little Jumbotron thing, and then things just went there from there.
What was it that had the Eagles flying high Saturday night?
Okay, Jamie, but first, a Michigan prison worker admits he smuggled drugs inside. How he did it, next.
Across Michigan tonight, stories from Port Huron and Muskegon.
But we want to start in Muskegon, and that's where a former Michigan prison worker who smuggled heroin into a jail is awaiting sentencing. 27-year-old Adrian Delgado pleaded guilty earlier this month to drug and prison smuggling charges after he tried to bring the drugs into the Ionia Correctional Facility where he worked. The Ionia County prosecutor says Delgado came to work with the heroin taped to his leg. He faces up to a year in jail.
A day of fun on the water takes a drastic turn when the Coast Guard rescues dozens of people who were struggling in the water. Happened during the Port Huron Float Down, which is an unsanctioned event. It's on both sides of the St. Clair River. It brought out nearly 5,000 participants. It's become awfully popular, but more than 160 received assistance from the U.S. and Canadian Coast Guards. The Coast Guard also rescued 3 people who were struggling in the water. Participants were warned not to participate due to safety concerns. We'll wrap up back in Muskegon, where a boat crashed on Lake Michigan.
This happened Saturday night, and you can see in the picture here the boat hit the rocks on the outer northern channel. It remained lodged there Sunday morning. It's unknown what caused the crash.
New at 5:30.
U.S. airports and airlines not making the grade, especially compared to competitors overseas. What can be done to change that? We're live at 5:30.
It's happened again. A desperate search for survivors underway right now after a U.S. Navy ship crashes into a tanker.
He had a dream for this entire property.
And I wanted to save this home for future generations to be able to enjoy what a farmstead would look like.
That's when the vandalism started.
There's over $20,000 worth of damage here right now, and it's just totally crazy.
Now, not only is that dream over, but he's out tens of thousands of dollars in damages.
So it's devastating.
Next.
I'm Pri Mann live in Chesterfield Township, where 2 men have been trapped in a trench for hours. Let's get to brand new video. Just seconds ago, one of those men were rescued from this trench. They were trapped about 7 to 10 feet below surface level. Police saying these 2 construction workers were working on a home by the seawall. They were shoring up foundation when that wall collapsed, trapping these 2 men 7 to 10 feet below grade. Now you're looking at video of one of those men who were just rescued seconds ago, put onto a stretcher, and just a few moments ago that ambulance took off. That one man is at the hospital. The other man is currently being rescued at this time. They were both trapped from the waist down. The Macomb County Technical Rescue Team and Chesterfield Fire Department are on scene. Now you're looking at live video as this rescue is underway. Again, one man still trapped about 10 feet below the surface level. Police saying they were working on a home by the seawall, shoring up the foundation when that wall collapsed. We are at Jefferson and Hall Road. The home in question is on Edgewater Street. And again, one man just rescued moments ago. Now the rescue team are trying to pull this other man out of this trench. We are here all evening. This happened around 2 in the afternoon. It's now about 5:30. One man's been rescued. Police and fire department now working to rescue the other. We will continue to stay on the scene, bring you the latest information as this story develops. Reporting live from Chesterfield Township, I'm Pri Mann, Local 4.
A Westland home vandalized to the tune of $20,000. Now, police are searching for a band of young men they say are responsible. Police want to talk to the young men that you see right here. The old farmhouse that was vandalized has one of the last barns in Westland. It sits alone at the end of North Farmington Road, and for about a year, groups of kids have used it for their own little vandalism parties, and it was really causing some major damage.
And the homeowner is fighting back, telling our Jason Colthorpe he is desperate to identify the culprits.
The owners of this property at their breaking point, and you can see why. Virtually every window on this farmhouse has been busted out, and it doesn't stop there. They've also done heavy damage to these classic vehicles.
But I just want to do something for families. I don't think families have enough to do out here.
That's the voice of a man who had a dream for this property.
We own 11 acres, me and my family, and we want to do a cider mill, petting farm for the kids where they come across the bridge, across the street from Nankin Mills, and learn about animals, about the Rouge River.
But those dreams have been all but ruined because of constant vandalism here over the last year by several groups of kids.
You come across the bridge from Hines Drive, it's like you just went back a whole bunch of years, which there's no other houses around. You're out in the middle of nowhere. It's just like you went back 50 years, and that's what we were looking for, and that's what we had here, but the kids just destroyed it.
And after a violent confrontation with one of those boys, he'd rather not be identified.
It's impossible to stop this going on. They're destroying my barns.
It's not like they couldn't see the signs telling them to keep out. They're everywhere. But what they didn't see were the video cameras, at least not at first. And then once they did, they started wearing masks.
To look at the house now, what they did to my dream and to all the work I did in the house, and yeah, it's very, very frustrating, and it's disgusting.
Police caught 2 of the boys, but need help identifying the others here in these videos. When they're caught, this property owner might sue their families to try and get back the estimated 20 grand in damages.
I just want to move on with my life. We might be selling the property at this point. Again, I've had this dream in my brain for over 20 years, and it's a little bit hard, but it seems like right now I need to move on. It just seems like it's not working.
In Westland, Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
We have included some still photos of the suspects. You'll find them in our story at clickondetroit.com. Well, police are investigating after a man is hit and killed on I-94 and I-275 this morning.
The 29-year-old man was walking on the freeway when he was hit by a driver in a Saturn View. The driver and passenger of the vehicle are cooperating. Police are still working to notify the man's family. The investigation is ongoing. Dearborn police need your help tonight locating a 16-year-old who they say is cognitively impaired. Take a look. This is Adam Richko. His grandmother reported him missing when he did not return home yesterday from a park on Prospect and Charles. She says they do have family in Ohio, and Adam may be trying to make his way there. If you have seen Adam or know where he is, please call police. Search is on for 10 U.S. sailors after a large oil tanker hits the guided missile destroyed Navy ship off Singapore.
The USS John S. McCain badly damaged with a huge hole at its waterline. In addition to the 10 missing sailors, 5 others wounded, suffering, fortunately, what we're told are not life-threatening injuries, but it is the second Navy ship to be hit in the last few months. The U.S. Department of Defense is investigating why this one happened.
I also fully support the Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral John Richardson's efforts right now. He has put together a broader inquiry to look into these incidents.
In June, the USS Fitzgerald, the destroyer's sister ship, was hit by a container ship, you may recall, and 7 sailors died in that accident. It was the moment that turned day into night for a very little while. Today's total solar eclipse did not disappoint those who were in the right places.
That's right. We were outside of the station. We did see, I was impressed with what we saw, but obviously the place to be, Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and that's where Ben Bailey was, spending the past couple of days. Such an awesome day, Ben.
It really is, Karen and Devin, and I hope this just whets your appetite for what's to come in 2024, and you make every effort to find a way to get to that path of totality, just like 140 to 150,000 people did today here in and around Hopkinsville. Those were the crowd estimates from the choppers overhead here in Christian County, Kentucky, which is one of the largest counties in the state. No issues, no major traffic problems. The only ones we saw were right after the eclipse, when everybody was trying to get out of town at the right time, same time. And you have to wonder if the early reports of the gas outages and the problems in Oregon and the predictions of countrywide gridlock really kept people at home today, and these crowds could have been even bigger than they actually were. Also, I had a buddy of mine text me after our 4 o'clock show, and he said, was that really as cool as you made it out to be? And I said, yeah, it really was. You know, the only analogy I can think of for sports fans is, it's one thing if you watch your team throw a game-winning Hail Mary and you're at home on the couch by yourself, but you surround yourself with thousands of other fans, and it just turns that experience into something more. And I think that's kind of what happened here. I mean, it was cool to see what we saw, but the fact that we were experiencing it in a group just made it all that more special. Guys?
Because as you brought it out to the whole country, so many people were watching it on television. It really was a shared experience in a lot of different ways today, so that was pretty cool.
Definitely. I like that description. Thank you, Ben.
More from Ben coming up a little bit later on. Other news today, the Detroit Police and Fire Departments came to the rescue for dozens of students, getting them ready for the new school year.
School starts soon, and many families are really struggling to buy the supplies children need to be successful. The emergency workers took a group of kids to Target to get everything they needed for school. The kids were each given $100 gift cards to get things like backpacks, notebooks, and more. But most importantly, the kids got to see a different side of police officers.
We always just see the uniform. We are parents, we're brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, just like everybody else.
Kids went over their $100 budget, but the police officers pitched in their own money to make sure that those kids got everything they needed.
If you've got the time to sneak in a getaway, it might be a really good time to plan a road trip before the end of the summer. AAA Michigan says gas prices statewide have fallen by about 8 cents a gallon within the last week or so. The Auto Club says the average price in the Detroit area for regular gas about $2.40 a gallon. Lowest price about $2.31. The highest that we're seeing right now about $2.49.
Well, there's been lots of news about bumped airline passengers and flyers getting stuck for hours on the tarmac, but there's still not much being said or done for those hurt by flight delays or cancellations. Consumer investigator Hank Winchester joins us live at Metro Airport this evening. And Hank, some advocates are trying to change that.
They certainly are, Karen, and as you mentioned, a lot of these problems exposed just within the last year, especially after that one passenger dragged off that United flight. Now tonight, questions about what can be done regarding those delays and, more importantly, the compensation. For all the talk about better treatment of airline passengers, critics say the U.S. still lags far behind some other countries when it comes to flight delays and cancellations.
The airlines in their contract of carriage promise to get you from point A to point B, but that's all they promise.
But there's something they don't promise. According to Charles Leocha of Travelers United, a passengers' rights group, they don't promise when you'll arrive. But he says that could change if only the U.S. had airline rules like Europe.
So that if your flight from Europe to the United States is delayed by 4 hours, you get 600 euros, which is about $650.
Reverse that delayed flight, though, and he says you get nothing, even with recent improvements in compensation from many U.S. airlines.
The thing about air passenger rights and flight compensation is it's bigger in Europe.
AirHelp is a flight compensation company that, for a fee, helps passengers file claims against an airline. Advocates say people can file these claims after doing the research, but it should be the responsibility of the airlines all over the world.
I dream that one day the U.S. will have air passenger rights as generous and as human as the European counterparts do.
Federal regulators have a website dedicated to passenger complaints, and that doesn't cost a thing. Back out live here at Detroit Metro. You know, since all that horrible PR with United and some other airlines earlier this year, the airlines have worked to increase compensation and, more importantly, improve communication. We're live here at Detroit Metro tonight. Hank Winchester, back to you.
It sure does get frustrating for passengers, Hank. How does a passenger even know if they're perhaps eligible for compensation on their canceled or delayed flight?
Yeah, Karen, that's really what it's about. It's a frustrating experience, but that website, airhelp.com, it really helps take a lot of it out of the confusion out, because you can just type in your passenger number, your ticket number, the flight number. It will let you know what compensation is being offered. We'll put a link to that website on the Help Me Hank page at clickondetroit.com. For now, Karen, back to you.
All right, sounds good. Hank Winchester live at Detroit Metro Airport.
Well, a few minutes ago, we told you about a missing teenager in Dearborn. Moments after our story aired, Dearborn's chief called us and said they just found Adam Richko a few minutes ago, and happy to tell you that he is safe and sound, which is all good.
Very good.
Also coming up, it was an extremely unusual rescue.
I was thinking I might be here a while. Because my tenants were out, nobody was home, my phone was inside.
Uh-oh, new tonight how this woman got stuck inside her own pool and how Facebook helped get her out.
Football is back, and the Lions opened up the newly renovated Ford Field on Saturday night for a preseason game against the Jets. But one of the biggest cheers was not for a football play.
But first, a judge shot outside a busy courthouse. One thing the shooter was not expecting. We'll explain that next.
Jeopardy! New at 6.
Michigan mayors taking it upon themselves to fight back against bigotry and hatred.
The mayors are taking the leadership on this, and unfortunately that's more and more of the leadership is falling at the local level because we're not seeing that coming out of Washington.
We'll tell you who's signing on to this growing movement across America.
Also, the new home of the Detroit Red Wings and Pistons just about ready at 6 o'clock. How you can get a sneak peek of the new arena for free.
An Ohio judge was shot this morning in an ambush-style attack. Authorities say Judge Joseph Bruzzese Jr. was shot this morning as he arrived at the Jefferson County Courthouse in Steubenville. Both the judge and a probation officer returned fire, hitting and killing one suspect. The second suspect was taken into custody. So far, authorities have not released a motive for that shooting.
This is Jerron Johnson. He is a wide receiver at Eastern Michigan on the football team. His coaches call him a grinder, working his way onto the roster and rising to make an impact in games. So imagine how cool it was when Saturday night the team took a surprise trip to Ford Field to see how the pros do it. But as Jamie Edmonds shows us, for Jerron, that trip was just part of a night he's never going to forget.
This may be the home of the Lions, but one of the biggest cheers on Saturday night was for an Eagle. It was planned as a treat for the Eastern Michigan football team, a day off of camp, a trip to the Lions game. But there was also something else.
2 minutes into the second quarter, it's go time.
Out of nowhere, Coach Creighton just called out a seat number, and then at first I was just nonchalant about it. I didn't even know what seat number I was in, and then my teammate Dooley was like, "That's you, bro. That's you, bro." I was like, I looked down at my seat. I was like, "Yeah, that is me." I was just
clearly a surprise to senior Jerron Johnson.
I want to present a full ride athletic scholarship to our senior wide receiver, Jerron Johnson.
A full ride to Eastern Michigan. What a moment for a kid who came to the school from California on his own dime last year. Joined the team as a preferred walk-on and did most of his work on special teams.
My mom just started bawling, crying, and my grandmother was crying. My dad was so proud, grandfather was so proud, my whole family was just so proud of him.
So, Coach, why Jerron?
He's quiet, doesn't bring attention to himself, but is always wanting to do the right thing, and he works so hard at it.
And he's a rising star, ready to make the jump to wide receiver. But Johnson knows this is bigger than football.
Oh, it's full education. You're there for a reason, to get your education.
This shy 22-year-old says this story got a lot of play on social media and would like to back it up on the field. I think Coach Creighton would like that as well. In Ypsilanti, Jamie Edmonds, Local 4.